Welcome back to the ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we're diving into one of the most significant and emotionally resonant developments affecting Port Charles and its beloved residents. The latest news surrounding Wright and her character Carly has sent shockwaves through the General Hospital fanbase, raising critical questions about what lies ahead for one of the soap's most iconic figures and the future trajectory of storylines that have captivated millions of viewers worldwide. Let's explore the recent events in comprehensive detail, the health challenges that have emerged, the personal dimensions of this situation, and what fans can realistically expect in the coming episodes and beyond. Ella Wright's personal journey and recent struggles, a comprehensive overview. Ella Wright, the exceptionally talented actress who has brought Carly Corinthos to life for an extended period, has been navigating a particularly challenging chapter in her personal life. The acclaimed performer, who has become virtually synonymous with her role on General Hospital and has earned multiple award nominations for her work, has always maintained a relatively private personal life while graciously sharing aspects of her professional journey with devoted fans around the world. Throughout her tenure on the show, Wright has built a reputation as a consummate professional, dedicated to her craft and committed to delivering compelling performances that resonate with audiences. However, recent developments have brought her personal circumstances into the spotlight in ways that neither she nor her admirers could have anticipated. The situation has become particularly relevant to fans because it directly impacts one of television's most compelling and nuanced characters. Wright has been in a meaningful relationship with Wes Ramsey, and the couple has shared their happiness with those close to them. Their relationship has been a source of genuine joy and stability for Wright during her demanding career on daytime television, where the work schedule is notoriously grueling and the emotional demands of performing complex characters can be overwhelming. For dedicated fans of the show, Wright's apparent personal contentment has often reflected in her on-screen performances, bringing an authentic emotional energy and depth to her portrayal of Carly. One of the hallmarks of Wright's acting is her ability to infuse her characters with genuine emotion and complexity, and this skill has made Carly one of Port Charles's most compelling and multidimensional characters. The character has evolved significantly over the years, and much of that evolution can be attributed to Wright's intelligent and nuanced approach to the role. The landscape of Wright's personal life took an unexpected and deeply emotional turn when rumors began circulating about a pregnancy. Such news, had it materialized, would have been genuinely significant for Wright and Ramsey, marking a potential new chapter in their relationship and creating new dimensions to their life together. For fans, news of a pregnancy might have added another layer of interest to following Wright's career, as viewers often feel invested in the personal happiness of actors they admire. However, life had other plans in store, and the pregnancy was not meant to be. Wright experienced a miscarriage, a deeply personal and emotionally devastating tragedy that has profoundly affected her well-being during this already challenging time. A miscarriage represents not merely a medical event, but a profound emotional loss. The experience combines physical trauma with psychological and emotional pain. For anyone experiencing this loss, the journey toward healing is neither linear nor quick. The person must navigate the physical recovery, which can involve complications and ongoing medical concerns. Simultaneously, they must process the emotional dimensions of the loss, the disappointment of unfulfilled hopes, the grief of what might have been, and the complex feelings that accompany such a significant personal setback. The health crisis and its significant impact on production and daily life. The physical and emotional toll of losing a pregnancy is substantial and multifaceted, and Wright has not been immune to these very human and very real challenges. Following the miscarriage, Wright's health has deteriorated noticeably in ways that have become difficult to conceal or manage within her professional environment. The combination of physical recovery required after a miscarriage and the emotional processing necessary to cope with such a loss has taken a visible and measurable toll on the actress. The physical aspects of her recovery have been complicated and demanding. Miscarriages can involve various complications, and the recovery process requires medical attention and time. Beyond the purely medical dimensions, the emotional weight of the experience has been substantial. Wright has had to grapple with the psychological impact of losing a hoped-for pregnancy while simultaneously trying to maintain her professional obligations and show up to work at full capacity every single day. For someone working in daytime television, this situation presents an almost impossible challenge. The nature of soap opera production is uniquely demanding compared to other forms of television. Actors on daytime soaps typically work longer hours than their primetime counterparts. They must memorize large amounts of dialogue on a daily basis. They are expected to deliver nuanced, emotionally complex performances multiple times per day. The shooting schedule is compressed with episodes filming and airing in rapid succession. There is no luxury of time to perfect scenes or multiple takes in most cases. The pressure to maintain consistency in character portrayal while managing the physical and emotional demands of the job is extraordinary. Given these production realities, Wright's health situation has become increasingly untenable. The combination of physical recovery needs and emotional well-being concerns has created a situation where continuing to work at full capacity is neither realistic nor advisable. Wright's health has deteriorated to a point where it is interfering with her ability to perform at the level she demands of herself and that the production requires. Recognizing the severity of her situation, Wright has made the difficult but necessary choice to step away from her role on ABC General Hospital temporarily. This leave of absence marks an important moment for Wright to focus entirely on her physical recovery and emotional healing, away from the intensity and pressure of a daily television production that demands everything from its actors. This decision, while difficult for the actress personally and for the show's production team, represents a prioritization of health and well-being that has become increasingly valued in the entertainment industry. This temporary departure from the show represents a crucial turning point with implications that extend in multiple directions. Not only is it significant for Wright personally as she focuses on recovery, but it also creates significant challenges for the show's creative team. The millions of viewers who tune in regularly to follow the drama unfolding in Port Charles will notice Carly's absence, and the show's writers and producers must address this situation carefully and thoughtfully to maintain narrative continuity and viewer engagement. The fate of Carly Corinthos in Port Charles, a central question. The question that has been consuming General Hospital fans since news of Wright's hiatus broke is both straightforward and remarkably complex. What will happen to Carly Corinthos? This is not a minor concern or a peripheral issue that can be easily resolved. Rather, it strikes at the heart of how General Hospital functions as a narrative enterprise. Carly represents one of the cornerstones of General Hospital's narrative structure and has done so for years. Carly Corinthos is woven intricately into countless storylines, relationships, and power dynamics that drive the show's plot forward on a daily basis. She is far more than just another character on the canvas of Port Charles. She is a central figure whose actions, decisions, and presence ripple throughout the community, affecting everyone from her close family members to her business associates to her adversaries and enemies. Her presence in scenes carries significant weight and narrative importance. Her interactions with other characters often determine the direction of major storylines and character arcs. Over the years, Carly has been involved in some of the most pivotal and memorable moments in General Hospital history. She has navigated complex and often heartbreaking family dynamics, high-stakes business conflicts, passionate romantic entanglements, and profound moral dilemmas that have tested her character's resolve and facilitated her growth as a person. Her relationships with other core characters have served as anchors for various interconnected storylines. Whether it's her connections with family members, her business partnerships, her romantic relationships, or her conflicts with adversaries and enemies, Carly's presence has consistently shaped the narrative landscape of Port Charles in significant ways. The character of Carly has been central to major storylines involving organized crime, legitimate business operations, family secrets, romantic traumas, and personal redemption. She has served as a connection point between different segments of the Port Charles community. Her storylines have often explored themes of resilience, motherhood, loyalty, ambition, and the struggle to balance personal desires with family obligations. These complex narrative threads have made Carly essential to the overall functioning of General Hospital's storytelling. The absence of such a central character even temporarily creates a narrative vacuum that cannot be easily filled. The show's writers must find ways to maintain the momentum of existing storylines while accommodating the absence of a character who is integral to many of those storylines. This presents a creative challenge that requires careful planning and strategic decision-making. How General Hospital will address the absence, strategic narrative solutions. The creative team at General Hospital faces a significant practical challenge in managing Carly's absence while maintaining narrative continuity and keeping viewers engaged with the ongoing drama. Several possible approaches could be taken to address this situation, each with its own advantages and disadvantages from both a creative and production standpoint. The most straightforward and commonly used solution would involve writing Carly out of scenes temporarily, perhaps explaining her absence through a short-term plot device that feels organic to the character and the story world. This could involve Carly being away on business, dealing with a personal matter that requires her attention, visiting family out of town, or being unavailable for other reasons that make narrative sense. This approach allows the show to maintain continuity while acknowledging the character's absence in a way that doesn't disrupt the believability of Port Charles as a functioning community. Another effective approach that daytime television has employed successfully involves having other characters reference Carly's activities off-screen, allowing her to remain relevant to ongoing storylines even while Wright recovers and is not appearing on screen. This technique, commonly used in daytime television when actors need time away for various reasons, allows the character to maintain a presence in the narrative consciousness of Port Charles residents. Other characters can discuss Carly's business dealings, her family situations, or her current whereabouts, keeping her present in the minds of viewers and other characters even if she is not physically appearing in scenes. Some fans have speculated about more dramatic narrative solutions that might be employed. Could Carly be temporarily sidelined by a storyline that removes her from the immediate action? Might the writers introduce a plot development that naturally explains her reduced presence on screen while also creating interesting narrative possibilities for the future? Might Carly be involved in a storyline that takes her away from Port Charles for an extended period, creating both an in-story explanation for her absence and potential for dramatic returns and discoveries when she eventually comes back? These questions reveal how deeply invested General Hospital viewers are in understanding how their favorite characters' lives will unfold, and how the show's creative team will manage this challenging situation. The fanbase is actively engaged in speculating about possibilities and imagining how the writers might handle this scenario. The impact on current and future storylines. The timing of Wright's departure creates particular challenges because it occurs in the middle of what are presumably several ongoing storylines involving Carly. Soap operas operate with multiple interconnected plots running simultaneously, with different characters involved in various arcs at any given time. Carly, as a central character, is likely involved in multiple storylines at present. The writers must now figure out how to advance these storylines, modify them, postpone them, or restructure them entirely to accommodate Carly's temporary absence. Some storylines might be able to continue with minimal involvement from Carly. Perhaps there are plots involving other characters that Carly was tangentially connected to but not essential to. These storylines might proceed relatively normally with other characters carrying the action forward. However, any storylines where Carly is central to the plot will require more significant creative decisions. Other ongoing narratives might be temporarily shelved or dramatically altered. The writers might decide to pause certain Carly-centered storylines, banking them for the future when Wright returns and can fully engage with those narrative threads. This approach has the advantage of preserving the integrity of those stories for their eventual conclusion, but has the disadvantage of potentially leaving viewers confused or frustrated about unresolved plot threads. Alternatively, the writers might choose to dramatically reshape certain storylines, finding new directions that don't require Carly's immediate participation, but that can incorporate her when she returns. This requires more creative heavy lifting, but can result in more organic and interesting narrative developments.